So I had a 70 people team which completely had to be taken off. That business had to be shut down because travel completely died. Decided, I had no option but to take up a job. Took up a job in one of the biggest mining companies globally. And from the first salary, I put $5,000 in crypto. That $5,000 ended up becoming $100,000 in 2 months. People's thought process are formed from their experiences.
I'm giving away $100 from Abby Token because they want to care about the education of everyone. All you need to do is to follow TROE Show, make the best comment on the episode along with your Twitter account. Stay educated, follow TROE Show.
I feel like Mr. Boom. Yeah.
Hello guys, how are you? Today, we're coming, the meme cycle, we had it for 2024. Now we're going to more likely to utility again, and mainly now coming the AI agent. And when we say this, we are talking about VCs. And I know many people don't like VCs. We're gonna say why we don't like them, and maybe we have someone who can represent his part from the VC. But there is a new VC that launched today, and today is Tuesday. And this VC is made by a friend. He's already been a VC. I don't want to speak for him, but let's start. Vineet, how are you?
Hey Alja, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I can't complain.
Perfect. Yeah, great day for me as well, launching the VC fund.
Yes. The news all over today. We've seen it in every newspaper and Web3 and every podcast. Today, before we start of Sigma Capital, which is congratulations first of all
Thank
on
you.
your new VC. But in my show, I know maybe you watch some of them. We go organically. Before we start, I want to show always the audience, every guest, what is his background. Because 99% of this space, or how it's seen from the outsider, just gangsters. People have no education, just luck, and then everyone becoming something after that. But no, there are big genuine people behind the scene that they have also history in life. They're not like the 19 years old who made a token and pump fund, right? So we want to know who's Vineet, how did you grow up? What did you have like a cycle in your life? Then how you jumped to Web3 until you came to today, Sigma Capital. So let's start.
Cool. So, Elja, I did my engineering from one of the top colleges in India. Long time back. This was like 20 odd years back. Now you
look
my age.
22 now.
Yeah, I'm 22. Yeah, I was born and next day I did my engineering. So, did my engineering and then finally landed up in Dubai in 2003 and took up a cabin crew job. I was working with Emirates for 4 years, and crazy jump from being coming out of a good engineering college to becoming a cabin crew.
What engineering you studied?
Civil engineering.
Oh.
And I studied from REC and IT. It's one of the top colleges there. And then after joining Emirates, everyone's like, what the hell are you doing? You're doing something else. But it's an amazing job. You actually get to go to places, meet people.
That's why you were married at that time or not yet?
Not that. No, not that time.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense.
You're trying to remove the women away from the equation. Yeah, but I had a fun life. Emirates crew job was amazing. You get to meet a lot of people.
True.
You go to places. And then 4 years later, decided to go do my MBA. I studied at IE Business School, which is one of the top 10 business schools globally. Interestingly, very interesting people who have studied there. I have heard Escobar's son studied there, and I had Gaddafi's son studying after my year. Yeah, so Kamis Gaddafi was a junior, next year junior. But I also studied at Cornell. Cornell is where Ratan Tata and everyone studied. And in that time, I actually interned with a company that finally, was part of Rocket Internet, became Groupon and things like that. And I learned my internet from there. So, funnily, I did my MBA during 2008. Everyone remembers the crash. And, came back to India, started doing startups. I copied that model out of Spain and tried to do it in India. Worked well, did my first startup, was doing a lot of revenue. Then later, decided to do a product startup. When you make a product, make a company that makes you revenue, you are like, oh, I'm not famous enough, so let me do a product startup. And product startup makes you famous, doesn't make you money.
Yeah.
And I did a tour and travel startup, which was really good. Did $500,000 of monthly revenue. November 2019, I had a $2 million term sheet and was going to raise the money. I was like, yeah, revenue is coming, let's chill out. And in January, COVID struck. So I had I had a 70 people team, which completely had to be taken off. The business had to be shut down because travel completely died. Then having $1 million in liabilities and decided, I had no option but to take up a job. Took up a job in one of the biggest mining companies globally. And from the first salary, I put $5,000 in crypto on August 2020. So you hear a lot of people saying, I've been here for 10 years and 20 years. I haven't been. I've been here for 4 years itself.
Trust me, everyone in the space here, they are all 15 years in the space before even Satoshi. And how they made their millions, they say we mined Bitcoin. Everyone the same story. It's
Bro,
funny.
Whenever people tell me they have been here for 20 years, I actually think in my mind that what the hell have you been doing? You should be a billionaire by now, and they're coming in a Corolla.
Yeah.
So I've been here for 4 years. It's been an amazing 4-year journey. A lot of wealth creation has happened, and that $5,000 ended up becoming $100,000 in 2 months. So by October, I had $100,000, and I was just sitting generally with a gentleman who offered me a $10 million the very next day. I was telling him I invest like this and la 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 la, and he says, okay, can you share me some groups I want to study? And I sent him top 7 ICU and all those groups, and he next day gave me $10 million to invest, and that's where we built the first fund, which was known as Phoenix VC. I think you know me from the Phoenix VC time. This was in 2020, and we invested in some cool projects. Bondly was something that we invested. We invested in paid network pools. I met, interestingly, in my life, I always met shitty people. But in crypto, where 99% of the people are fake, I actually met good people. I met people like Syed, who used to run Alphabet and Shisha Finance. And I met really good guys, Kyle, a lot of them. I met them who were very known in that space. A lot of VCs came in. Spartan, I started coming, Yat. And that's how the VC story went up. We did close to 150, 200 investments. We were in Casper. We were, the fund did really, really well. Bijan is the guy who gave me, Bijan and Munaf are the people who gave me that money. They expected a 60% annual return, and they made a lot more money. And 2 years later, 2 years back actually, Bijan said, okay, this was a great experiment. Let's do another fund, and he offered me $100 million to do Cipher Capital. We started it 2 years back. I think, I'm not sure whether if you came to the launch party where people.
No, I don't do parties. I barely go.
No, it was a very good launch. Bijan is out of the he lives out of this world life. So he had a really amazing party. We had people jumping up from planes with pyrotechnics, which I think Dubai just did it right now. And we had Aiken and stuff, and it was a really good party. People came to know about Cipher Capital. It became more of a professional brand, yeah. And 2-3 months later, we hired someone from Binance. I'm sure you know about them. And we got the whole team and we got everything going. Finally, we did close to 130 plus investments in the last 2 years. And I think everyone knows us because we put $5 million in Sui.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Sui was doing around at 30 cents today. Sui is at $5.50. So technically at $6, it's 20x. So that 5 million is worth $100 million odd dollars. Most of it, 50% of it is unlocked. So we did a lot of money. If the whole fund is 80 million and we are doing 100 million from a single product, then the other 129 are just bonuses. Yeah. And we did good ones over there as well. Peak opened up at a 70x. My Pet Hooligan as a 40x. And, again, it's not about just returns, but these products are people who are really trying to do something different, are trying to build the future of transactions and interactions. I invested in Humanity Protocol. Again, I'm not shilling any of these tokens. I don't.
Now you're shilling. It didn't even launch Humanity, right?
I know, but we invested at $60 million. His last round was, I think, led by one of the big VCs at $1.3 billion. So I'm not saying anyone to buy. What I'm trying to say is there were good investments that happened. We have done, all of you can see our portfolio. It's all publicly available.
But now what I've hearing so far, or what I've heard so far, most of them are just you're investing in blockchains.
I completely am a token investor. I'm a crypto native investor. See, again, people's experiences are formed. People's thought process are formed from their experiences. I said I had a startup which failed in the sense COVID came. I was worth $8 million. I had equity worth $8 million, which I could not sell. There was no liquidity in equity. So for me, equity, I don't value equity much. I value something that is liquid, and tokens is something that is liquid.
That's why VCs are moving from the traditional VCs step by step. At least they're having some part of their investment portfolio to try the Web3 now.
So again, I I have different opinions on that. 2 years back, VCs were saying we are only investing in equity. The reason is SEC had the case against Ripple.
Yeah.
So they say we are only doing safes with token warrants. That time also I was investing in tokens. Today also I am investing in tokens. If there's an equity arrangement with tokens, I agree. Because, for me, I believe in liquidity. Liquidity doesn't mean that when your token will come out and I will dump, The SUI founder clearly knows. I met him in CFC St. Maurice last year. I told him clearly that I will not touch your token till it lands up at $6. This is something that I personally told it to him. And we didn't touch it till maximum of time. Now, what I'm trying to say is it is about having liquidity. What if the market goes down tomorrow? My equity is not liquid. My tokens are. So that's why I predominantly focused on tokens as investment case scenario. And it has worked for us. And, I don't need to change if something is working for me. And that's 2 funds it has worked for me. So why do I need to go into anything else?
That is true. I'm going to go with something, actually, I've never discussed it with anyone before. I like your mindset and I would like to discuss it. The most people who raise money usually are blockchains. And the most thing that also big VCs like to invest in are blockchains. And we have more than 900 blockchains so far, including the ZK rollups and all these things, right? In my kind of opinion, all of them are scam. Not all, let's say 95, 97% are scams. Why? Because they are trying all to stress an issue that doesn't exist, where we want users, or the first billion users in our chain. And none of them have users, to a point they're so pathetic, each one trying to become famous by taking the meme people and building meme tokens so he can just grab from other chain to his chain. So why the hell you made this from the beginning?
So again, don't fully subscribe to the view that everyone's building a blockchain. See, understand, when the last 2 years, everyone was saying crypto is dead. We did 140 investments in a bear market. There were people who were saying that the bear market is going to last till 2027. They were saying $8,000 to Bitcoin, all BS. So see, in the bear market, people were investing in infrastructure. There is a reason why you are investing in infrastructure in a bear market. When you look at a SUI, which is raising $300 million, you know that they will survive the bear market. They have $300 million to survive 10 years. So you invest in projects which are sustainable, which are long-term, which are building the infrastructure play over there. You have wallets, you have exchanges, which are very well capitalized.
But again, not all.
Reef,
what is Reef now?
Baba, not all. See, point is, 10 months back, I was in Hong Kong during the Hong Kong blockchain week, and the Bitcoin narrative and the ordinals was pumping up. So every second person on the road was building a BTC layer 2.
Yeah.
So I understand, people look at momentum and try to play the game. But what you have to understand is that in a bear market, to build a layer 1, you need minimum $80 to $100 million. So they are going to survive if they raise $20, $30 million. So that was the flavor of town that time. But when it comes to a bull market, now see, you built 10,000 highways already. So like if we're based in Dubai right now, so we see so many highways built up. Unless the cars don't come on this highway, there's no growth.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens in a market, you need to get adoption now. So yes, SUI built this amazing layer 1, Aptos built this amazing layer 1, Solana built this. Now you need dApps to come on board. These dApps would mean things like games, things like RWA, things like lending, borrowing. And that's where the flavor shifts towards all this.
But the reality is not that. If that was happening, I'll tell you, yes, they are doing a part of the message to onboard the next billion users. But no, you see, most of them are just trying to get the meme tokens.
So see, meme tokens, I've been here for 4 or 5 years. It's not that I'm seeing the meme cycle first.
I think the only chain, in my opinion, trying to do something a bit different, which is Mantra.
So see, when it comes to...
Beside like I like it or not, I'm just saying in general.
So when it comes to meme tokens, I have different views. This is not the first time. When I was investing when I said I took my 5,000 to 100,000, a bit of it was also degeneracy, where I was doing these tokens. We had tokens that were launching on certain platforms. I forgot the name, Lock, Unlock or something. I forgot the name of those platforms. So memes are not new. See, understand?
But no, just to clarify for the people, who's launching these meme tokens?
Random people.
Random, because you said we were launching.
No. We means I was also part of people who were part of launching these things.
Okay.
So how difficult was it? There was this platform, I'm trying to remember, Open Zeppelin, where you could download a contract and do a ETH contract and launch a meme coin. Meme coins had no logic, no rhyme. They were just coins which we would launch. And, people make money, devs make money on that. Now understand, it's not the first time I've seen it. What you have to understand, meme coins come in two cycles. One is at the start of the cycle and one at the end of the cycle. The reason why they come at the start of the cycle is because people have to get inspired to come to crypto. Tomorrow morning some kid will read that this guy put $10 in some token and it became a millionaire. This will make him run to crypto and he'll start buying tokens. So there always comes in the start of the cycle and they come in the end of the cycle. End of the cycle they come because all these smart...
the retailer decision comes, it's the final part of the cycle usually.
Yeah, so they are trying to drain out liquidity in this second cycle. So it's not something new. And what I'm trying to say with the meme cycle is, looking at the amount of money that is getting into the meme coins, you have no idea how big this cycle is going to be, how big in terms of volume this cycle. So it's interesting. It's you look at 2020 August, you will see these meme coins coming up. You had a lot of these meme coins that were coming up, and it's the same thing. And again, at the end of the cycle, whether the cycle ends in the next 6 months or 1 year, I don't want to say, but you will see the meme coins happening and liquidity getting drained out. So
when do you think the cycle gonna end?
So
because I know you always like to have that type of charts and predictions.
So again, not in the prediction business, but I don't know if you remember when BTC was at 60,000, I had a bet that it's going to 25,000.
Yeah, and it went exactly what you said.
And even at 25, I said it's going down, and I had posted that it's going to go back up from 18. So my view is that right now, when at 16, I had posted it on Twitter that it's going to go to 150 to 200K this cycle. So, the top doesn't matter whether it goes to $150,000 or $200,000, doesn't matter at all. It matters when will it reach. If it reaches there in 6 months and all our tokens are locked, we are dead.
That's also, there is a sad part here because many projects didn't launch. They're all waiting, and fuck my life, the lockups is like crazy.
1 year lockup of a token, and if the bull market ends in 6 months, so I hope, I have been asking people that I don't pray, but you guys need to pray that it lands till December. So if it lands...
Again, what is your prediction?
Between 6 months to 1 year. And again, I shouldn't scare retail away, but I know a lot of retail sees your thing. People need to put 10 to 15% of their profits out. Again, people are talking about Bitcoin reserves and people are talking about they are not looking at the overall economy.
Do you put it from now? Do you start cashing out now?
People need to start cash out. Nobody is cashing out. Everyone is deploying.
Yeah, from now?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a statement here, guys.
No, people, suppose you had a token which launched at a 30x. Why don't you take 10-15% out? What's the problem? You made 30x already, right?
Because everyone assuming at least we have maybe 3 months from now and he will start heavily moving out.
No, so you cannot put a time frame to when it will launch. What I would say is start getting cautious from 150K Bitcoin and start de-saying out from 150 to 200K.
Okay.
I shouldn't be saying this on a channel because technically that means that everyone understands strategy. But see, everyone who thinks it's going to $1 million right now, I was on David Lynch's show 2 years back. And I said that, it was on the show that I said it's not going to $1 million, which people are taking, not even to 100,000. It was there. And people said, I'm a Jeet. I have no clue about what I'm talking. I said, by 4 years, it will, you will have 1 billion users in 4 years. I read the comments. They were talking shit. All of them are dead. See, the people have no clue. People get flown into emotions. I know people who are posting on social media that Sui is going to $20 today. 2 years, they have not been talking about it. They just won a lottery and now they are saying they are visionary investors. It doesn't happen that way, man.
But don't you think, for an example, as a strategy, now we're going way far from the topic, but it's interesting, that you cash out some of the other tokens, but then you go, for an example, back to Ethereum, because till now Ethereum didn't do any shit movement. Mm-hmm. And then you cash out from Ethereum after.
No. So
because Ethereum didn't move.
Okay. Have you looked at the network statistics of all these chains? Mm-hmm. Have you looked? See, let's not give the numbers. Let the viewers also do some research over there. Why would I invest in Ethereum? First question. Because Ethereum is growing. So then I need to make an Excel sheet today and put Ethereum, Solana, Sui and everyone and see how many new addresses were made. How much is the TVL lock? How much is the growth in TVL? How much is the active commits? How much is the developers? If you see no activity happening in Ethereum, that means it's slowing down.
That's true. We all know it's slowing now.
Sure. So then you go into the ones which are See, how do I classify Ethereum as? In 2000, Yahoo was the big player in the market. Angel Fire and Yahoo were really big. People said directive systems and content is the way to go at. But in 3 years later, Google came up. Google said that the search model is much better and Google went up. Then Facebook came up. They said it's not just search, it's time spent on the model. So similarly, Ethereum is the Yahoo of today. Unless it doesn't adopt, unless it doesn't grow, unless it doesn't come out with some new thought process, maybe Sui will become big, maybe Solana will become big, maybe Solana or Sui are also not the Facebook of today. Maybe something else will come, maybe ChatGPT. So growth will happen. So what you have to understand is all tokens will grow. But what I am clearly saying is, suppose you put $1 million in today and in the next 3, 4, 5 months, they will become worth $10 million. Take $2.5 million in stablecoin. I don't like stablecoin. I'm saying gold. Take that $2.5 million out in gold. Because unfortunately, Bitcoin is not going to $1 million by the end of the year. It will come down. It is a wavy pattern. When it comes down again to 60, 70,000, if it does in 2026, and put it back in.
Yeah, that's agree. But now we come back to your journey in Cipher Capital. But now it was a great journey. But now today you launched your own capital, Sigma Capital. So what made you go away from Cipher to make your own capital?
So interestingly, the funny part is I told people that this is my last cycle and, I'm going on. But what I saw was, I landed up in FII in Saudi Arabia and I saw the exposure that people in Saudi have to crypto, which is zero.
No, they have no exposure.
They have no exposure. So I understood that, these crypto bros talk about $50 and $100 million funds. This is nothing. Bro, the real money is out there. It's, if you know A16Z has a 18 billion AUM right now. This market has not even started and there is scope to build a really, really big Sequoia or a SoftBank of crypto in the next 8 to 10 years. So I said, why not? Let's build up another company. We could have done it in the same structure, but the Cipher Capital runs on a family office or a single LP structure. That means it's single person's $100 million and he controls everything. It's not scalable. So, I went to Bijan. I said, time for me to go out and venture on my own and build up a proper LPGP audited structure and scale it up to a much bigger height where there's a lot more participation. A lot more participation means people coming in, becoming partners, growing it up, venture partners coming up globally. And that's where the idea of Sigma Capital came in. And the whole concept is in the next 10 years, this will be a top, like Cipher became the biggest fund in the Middle East. Everybody says I'm a big fund in Middle East. Look at the investments. We are the only ones who did those investments. But the whole vision is that Sigma will become one of the top funds globally, which will have the best of the investments, which will have the best of the networks, best of the connections. And, hopefully it becomes a Sequoia or a SoftBank of Web3 in the future.
Yes, why not? Inshallah, it happens.
Thank you.
Why did you choose the name Sigma?
So Sigma is interesting because, in the socio-hierarchical needs, Alpha is considered top of the game.
Yeah.
Alpha is right up there. And Sigma is equivalent to Alpha, but it doesn't follow hierarchy. It goes on its own road. So Sigma is pretty equivalent to it. So that's where Sigma came in. Name sounded well. It is the boss. It ends up becoming, the point is about making this into the big VC. There's another one, Sigma also means 200 in the Greek or in the alphabet. So yeah, some of these numbers, it's $100 million fund, but that's the soft close. The hard close would be 200. So all these things about making a really good fund. So Sigma comes from that parameter.
And what is the register so far?
So Sigma is a Cayman LPGP fund. Okay. I am out of BVI. We are planning to make I am in ADGM as well. And that's the structure. It's a proper regulated fund.
Okay, that's amazing. Now, since you launched today, when you're going to start deploying capital? Because now you're saying if you're talking about 6 months, the cycle, basically you cannot invest in a new project. You're just going to do OTCs.
No, so what happens is there's
Unless
a strategy
you want to have the token in the bear market. Though.
No. So see, normally what happens is when you launch a fund, there is capital calls. When it is a fund that is raised from people, you don't get the whole $100 million in your bank account tomorrow morning until it's a single GP fund. Anyway, nobody gives you $100 million unless you are going to deploy $100 million tomorrow morning. So even raising that capital, today we are having pre-commits of around $40 million. So we assume that the fund will have a first close in June of this month, and December will be the hard close, assuming the market remains good. So we will start deploying across from June. Initially in top deals, if I get a pump.firm deal, why not? I'll deploy it tomorrow morning. But in a market which is hyped up and on the way back, we will start deploying into, there's a liquid strategy component here. The fund is 50% or venture, 40% liquid and 10% fund of fund. So we will start deploying in foundation deals on liquid strategy tokens and then go into. So it will start deploying more or less between 6 months from now.
So basically you're going to start deploying in a bear market.
That's the plan.
Okay. So when you're going to deploy in a bear market, what's going to be your strategy? Finding new project at a better valuation or finding existing project with a good OTCs?
Initial bear market has a longer period. So bear market, when BTC goes to, like last cycle, when you look at last cycle, $70,000 Bitcoin. So it didn't go to 18,000 in next day. It took 2 years to 1.5 years to go there. So initial would be about liquid strategy and then more of venture capital right at the start, because you want to invest in projects which are going to survive. So it will initially go from liquid strategy, and yeah, it's going to be a 3-year horizon. So 3 year basically covers the whole bear market technically.
What do you think, for an example, in Singularity ecosystem? Like they built many projects, man, they all survived the bear market. How do you see the way they are doing it? Because I've seen many people couldn't survive the bear market, right?
See, again, if people do, this is what I've been telling my projects. In fact, I have invested in Singularity ecosystem as well. I've invested in Singularity.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. I'm not chilling them, so I know where you invested.
As long as founders understand treasury management, it's okay. I've been telling my founders, suppose you launch a token tomorrow and the token does 100x. You need to go out and do OTCs because, see,
Okay, I want you to explain that, because I keep always saying this is the biggest problem in meme tokens. Sorry to say that, meme tokens are making much more money than any fucking utility project. And the team hold 100% unlocked tokens, and they might even hold up to 80% of the supply. The problem, they sell, but they don't even know what is treasury management. They just go buy Lamborghinis, they buy houses. They think that's the way PvP. It's not PvP, you're fucking scamming this way, you stupid.
So see, I was discussing this in the morning. I was with one of the known VCs in the region, and he was talking about memes. See, memes is a different way of raising capital. Understand the two. When people say meme coins are the way, public people have bloody no clue. See, understand what happens in a VC token and understand what happens in a meme token. In a meme token, one is a planned way of doing it. When people who know what they are doing, they launch a token, have it 95% of the supply, launch the token goes up because they control the supply, and then they do OTC to VCs at $1 billion valuation, and then continue. Now there are some coins like Bonk, which came up with a meme coin and then are building Bonk bot and different products. Yeah. So it's a way of raising capital and then deciding, what do I want to build? Do I want to build a game? Do I want to build this?
But how now? What is I want you to tell the degens what is treasury and how you do treasury management.
Okay, so what happens is,
give them like a small
I'll explain
training
this
from your point of view.
So I remember, I'm not sure whether I should name the project name, but I met one of these founders in ETH Denver 2 years back. ETH Denver or Consensus, I think. So, I said, when you...
In France?
No, in Consensus, in the US.
Okay.
So I told these guys, when you launch your token, and suppose you launch a token at $1 and it ends up going to $10, what do you do next? At $10, you go and do OTC trades and sell your foundation tokens and locked schedule, 1 year lock and 4 year, and get USDT out. Now, suppose you got your annual burn rate is $5 million to run a company. So 6 years basically means $30 million of liquidity in your bank account. You go and sell $30 million of tokens, which are locked. That means they don't come into distribution immediately. They come with the vesting schedule, and you have 6 years of runway. Because the only way to survive a bear market is to have your treasury. True. Now what happens is, understand the problem with founders that I see a lot. One is, as soon as their token goes to 100, they become Warren Buffett. I see Warren Buffett's left, right and center in a bull market. They think that now the token is going to $1 billion, which is not true. Token comes back and they die. And this happened in 2017 when everyone raised in Ethereum, and Ethereum from $1,700 came to $100. So people had raised $10 million and in 1 year they only had $1 million. They couldn't run the company. So here people need to take the money off the table in a stable coin and build their treasury to run their operations for 6 years. In 6 years, even if you don't have an idea of how to build a company, you will find something.
Yeah, but now here, just to clarify it, let's say the project reached 100 million. You're saying they have to go to do OTCs with lock period, but why would anyone would do an OTC for a project that he's sure, as you said, it's not going to go to $1 billion. There is a likely to go to 1 million again.
So I am advising projects. I do very serious investments. I do projects which are really good. So I'm advising them that you need to take this valuation to $1 billion and do OTCs to family offices and try taking out $40-50 million and not to buy a Lambo. If they buy a Lambo, I'm going to hunt them down. But that $30-40 million to have their treasury, because founders don't have to focus on token price. Founders have to focus on utility of their project.
True.
If your project is so good, I should FOMO into holding your token. But if you are too focused on the token price will go down and I will also sell to take capital out. So my point is, build your runway, keep away from fluctuating tokens. See, I have $30 million, bear market comes tomorrow morning, lasts for 5 years. I don't care. I have money to pay salaries. And I'm continuously pay salaries not to travel the world, pay salaries to build a great product. And the product is getting used. I get 30 million users in the next 3 years. These 30 million users are going to use my token because tokens are basically running the process and token goes back up. But if you have no treasury, you start buying Ferraris, you will have to sell those Ferraris sooner or later, unfortunately.
With a big discount. A bad OTC deal. But tell me now, Vineet, how big is your team?
So we have close to 6 people already on board. Okay. These are, I'm getting the core people on. I got one of the partners from one of the other funds on board. Like 2 people have come from fund. One guy has come from a major $200 million fund as a group CFO. So I have 6 people more or less coming on board right now. This is the senior management. I'm not getting the junior guys on yet because the whole part is close the fund round quickly and then get the whole team on to get things up. So I have close to 6 people right now. And from an advisor's perspective, I have 5 people on. Again, documents are getting signed. That's why I don't want to name. And I have 11 venture partners across 9 global destinations right now. So I have someone in Hong Kong, I have someone in Singapore, San Francisco, like 9 global destinations. So I have a proper serious set of people who are on board right now to build this. And they all share the common vision. Our whole objective is not $100 million becoming 400, 500. The vision is to become the SoftBank. And SoftBank means basically the next fund should be $2 to $5 billion.
So I will wait next year for Formula 1 in Abu Dhabi. I find Sigma in all the place and one big yacht, right?
So you want me to be like one of the tokens you invested in?
No,
which has no clue.
No, this is the VCs are what they're doing. When you go there, you're going to find some big blockchains every time and VCs.
If I do that, then I will do it. I'm Indian, right? I like saving costs. I don't mind doing it. I'll ask my projects which I invested in, do you want a visibility? Come pay me $20,000 in your tokens and I'll get the yacht. Bro, see, it's good to party. I know that, but
I'm actually against it.
Yeah, it's good to party. I don't mind partying.
No, I'm against the parties because Web2 companies, you will not hear. That's the easy money. That's what I don't like in Web3. In Web2 companies, you might find 1 or 2 parties a year. In crypto, in every event, the side events, all drunk.
No, so understand there is a reason for that. You have to understand how Web2 works differently and Web3 works differently. If you look at the true Web2 cycle, what happens is someone comes up with an idea. He goes to his mama, papa and scams them out of $100,000 to build this idea. He makes a great presentation, goes to an angel investor who gives him $500,000.
True.
Then he does a product. He does an app. Goes to a Series A investor, takes $1 million. Then he does $20 revenue, Series B. $100 revenue, Series C. And 8 years later, you have Talabat coming up with an IPO on an exchange.
True.
So this is how normal cycle happens. In 8 years, because you have been ordering food from Talabat, this is really important. Salik is really important. And retail goes and buys the product. This is how normal life happens. In Web3, what happens? You come up with an idea. 2 months later, you raise $1 million on a white paper. 3 months later, you raise $6 million. 10 months later, you are launching it on an exchange. For 11 months later, you are $1 billion. Now, because retail is participating much faster than it is required, there's a lot of visibility angle that comes into Web3. So you have a lot of parties, you have a lot of influencers, you have a lot of
that's
stuff.
what I'm telling you. Easy money.
Yeah. So in this case, they play that game. But what I'm also understanding is it's no problem in them because it gets you liquidity as long as you have an idea on how to build the product. For me, I don't mind having a yacht if someone pays for it. I have no problem. What's the problem? 10 projects come together and pay me $30,000. I have 300. I'll put a big yacht.
But what I'm telling you, like again, yes, the parties, etc. For me also it's fine, but when it's becoming like when I see people are traveling to events, the first thing they always ask, guys, what is the side events? What is the parties happening? So they are not literally going for the main event. They're going for the shitty tons amount of side events that everyone is drunk and they are partying. And let's be honest, this is a big reality happening in this industry, right? Which is a bit retarded.
So events are interesting in Web3 space. I define events as 4 different events. Now this one is, I don't know how shady can I get, but so 4 events. So there are events where you have amazing conversations with people. When you go to a Satoshi roundtable or when you go to CFC St. Maurice, you meet industry leaders who you sit in the hotel with and have great conversations.
I've never entered in there and I will never go there.
No, trust me.
I know some of the people are going actually.
Yeah.
It's about paying the ticket. It's not about really...
2 years back, everyone goes to an event and clicks a photograph with CZ. I know you love him. I also like him a lot, But when you go to Satoshi Roundtable, you sit with him and have dinner. And, I have great conversation. You're not selling him anything. He's not selling you anything. You are having a great one-to-one conversation with CZ. This is worth an experience. Like, I don't want to go to an event and have a photograph with him. And you saw what happened recently with one of the founders who was cooking something with CZ.
Oh.
So one is such events where you meet industry opinion leaders, have great conversations with them. Second events is for a VC, it's where you find alpha. When you go to ETH Denver, when you go to ETHCC, when you go to GDC, you meet amazing founders who are trying to do something. Like, yeah, you meet shit as well, but you meet amazing founders. I met my pet hooligan founder in a line at GDC. He was standing behind me in the line and we started talking and he started talking about, he was not the founder, he's one of the founding teams. He said, we are building this rabbit which will play the game and it's the IP. I like the idea. We invested, it's setting at 40x right now. So these are places where you get alpha. There is third event, which are where you go to show face. When you go to consensus, unfortunately, there are no deals. Unfortunately, there's nothing. But yeah, people see you came to consensus. When you go to Davos, you show your face. Everybody knows that if you're paying $20,000 to stay for 4 weeks, you are serious about this business. And then there's the fourth set of events, which you mentioned about, where you go to party and pick up women. All the events ever. So what I'm trying to say is, there are different sets. You need to judge which event are you going to go. There are probably 2,000 events in crypto every year. But I don't go to 2,000. I do 3-4 events. I can name you the good events. They're really, really good events. And when you go to an event, it's not about, again, I don't want to name any events, but there are certain events in Dubai where 30,000 people come. It's like a railway station. In Mumbai, when you go to a railway station, 20,000 people walking aimlessly everywhere. So it's not about going to an event which pulls a lot of people. It's about going to an event and meeting 5 to 8 people. See, if you're going to go do 20 events in a year and going to meet only 5 good people at that event, you're going to meet 100 people in crypto who are valuable.
I agree. That's why for me, how I filterize it, I just go Binance events. Like I put 90% of my events is Binance only, because at least there are, maybe it changed than before, but till now it's the best in terms of quality. At least there are some kind of filtration.
See, if there's an agenda, for me, if the agenda is all about finding deal flow, then I would go to ETH Denver, ETHCC, Token 2049 Singapore, or GDC.
Even in France, it's not bad.
Sorry?
The France one, Paris, is not bad.
Which one?
The ETH Denver.
No, Paris doesn't have it. ETHCC.
ETHCC, sorry.
Yeah,
it was
ETHCC.
2 years ago even.
Yeah, ETHCC, it happened in Brussels. It's happening in Cannes this time. So this is a very good event.
This one is good, yes.
So you get to meet founders. See, with Binance, the thing is, Binance is a great event. Again, see, Binance is the boss here. Let's be very clear. I respect CZ. Everyone said...
CZ has nothing to do with Binance. Richard.
Unfortunately, a founder is a founder.
He Google Academy now.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, whatever the problems be around over there, I don't want to discuss that. But it is him who created this company.
Yes,
and he created this company in a bear market. Unfortunately, he is the brain behind it. So,
he's GOAT.
Yeah,
he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's the guy. So point is, with Binance, what I see is it's a bit restrictive sometimes. Restrictive in the sense, when you are speaking at a Binance event, you have to be a Binance portfolio company.
Yeah, because they don't want this to be misused.
Yeah, so for me, I prefer ETHCC because I can meet young founders who are doing
it. Vineet, why you're complaining? MashaAllah, every place I see you, MashaAllah.
No, I have spoken at the Binance conference.
I think every event in the planet, you if there is no Vineet, you don't start it now.
Yeah, but I like Binance. I spoke at Binance last year. Again, it's a good event. I'm not saying it's not a good event, but it's just that, different events to be in, it gets you the right people to meet sometimes. You get the market makers, so it's a good event.
I get invited to tons amount of events to speak. I don't even go 99.9. Because for me, I go because I don't go because I'm against what you want. You want that people come for me, you know. I check the speaker list, and when I see it's a little shady, or I just don't go. I don't want to be attached.
So
I just skip.
See, that's why event list speakers really count for me as well, because they should be valuable. Again, unfortunately, I'm not going there to listen to them. I'm just going there to meet people. If I have to listen to them, I'll Google it.
But you're also a brand. Today, Sigma is a brand.
Yeah, so that happened in the last 2 years. One day my team was asking me in Cipher. My team was asking. Someone told in Cipher that oh, we didn't do anything well. I said, define how do you say you didn't do well? They said, our projects didn't list on Binance. So we did a data where we figured out in the last 1 year, the biggest guy who launched projects on Binance was Coinbase. 4 investments, Wormhole and stuff, like they were invested 3 years. And we were number 3 on the list. We had projects BounceBit, and there was one more which launched up. So we were good with that. I said, we have great investments. We have a good brand. We have everything going for us. I said, and how did we build a brand? I said, has any one of you been kicked out from an event ever? They said, no. I said, I was. 4 years back when I started building Phoenix VC, there was an event in Dubai which happened at one of the events. I wasn't allowed. They didn't know who I am. And I was no one at that time. So the point is, the brand has been built over 4 years. And how has it been built? By people.
I was kicked by you when I used to be anonymous.
I have no. No, it's not. Okay, no. People need to listen to this.
Yeah.
So I have met you a lot of. I never kicked out anyone. First of all, when I met you at Binance in Dubai, I was introducing someone to a guy who was with you. And when I introduced you, I said, see, we have met a lot of times, but I don't know who you are, so I don't know how to introduce you.
I used to be anonymous, yes.
Yeah, so I said, I don't know who you are, so I don't want to say anything. And that's how, if I don't know how to, and I can't introduce anyone randomly. So I never kicked you out, unfortunately. The best thing is I was in Abu Dhabi during F1. This was the most interesting thing when you say about kicking out. I was in Abu Dhabi F1. This time, Bijan had a yacht there. A lot of people were coming on the yacht, and I was standing outside just to get them in because the yacht was full and they were not allowing people in. And I was you can ask people, like the guys from Cipher Capital, I was standing outside with them. I was standing with Rodney from Hack VC, and people were thinking I have left Cipher, that's why I'm standing outside. Actually, I was standing to get people in. So the thing is, no, we haven't done that. We don't see. Yes, when you are, in our event, we had, when Cipher had launched, we had a capacity of 400 people to come. We had gotten in 600 or 700 people in, and there were 600 people who couldn't come in. It was not that we didn't want them in. The building will collapse, man. Dubai municipality is going to come and put me in jail. So it's not that, but when we understand that there are people important, when we build the Cipher Hub, we invited everyone, other than anyone who's doing, we didn't want vendors to come in and eat the brains out of founders. We wanted founders to come and sit over there. And we are always open to inviting people. I love meeting people who have energy, who are doing something great here.
So basically, Vineet, for people are building. Because now we're already 50 minutes past. So we want to close it for the builders in the space, because now you said something. You said you're not gonna deploy any capital in new projects for at least the 6 months from now.
4 to 5 months. Again, that doesn't mean very strictly. Pump.fund. Again, I'm mentioning him 10 times because he's still not replied to me. Pump.fund. If he comes and sends me, and I've been asking him for the allocation for the last 6 months. He knows I'm into memes. I like the product. Point is, if projects like that come, I will invest. I don't care. They can have a 10-year vesting. How does it matter to me? But
but here they don't have token. Pump.fund.
They're okay. I think they're planning to.
Okay. This is alpha here.
Oh, ouch. No, so what I'm trying to say, I'm saying if they come with a token.
You already said it, guys.
If they come with a token, I'm more than. See, the point is, he has $100 million of revenue. How can such a company not do well? And see, for me, memes.
They cannot do well maybe because of regulations.
A lot of things,
especially with the live and cameras and all this shit. No. It might go back now, flashback, and because many dark things. I don't know how much you've seen, but many dark things were happening in the live thing.
See, Black Swan events can happen anywhere in the world. I can't bank on them. Yeah. They can happen. But from what they are doing and what value they are generating and what revenue they are generating, it's a perfect product for me. If I lose money on that, no matter. I don't care. But it is a product which is generating $100 million in 6 months. Great. Who else is doing that? Nobody.
I know others, but I cannot say this. I told you one of them outside now. So now, what do you advise builders? Someone who's building now, because what I'm hearing for you, you're not looking at the small builders. You're looking at some people generated 100 million, 200 million. So we can see Sigma is just that big scale, or
I'm saying people who have traction. See, what is happening right now is everyone is sending me a message on LinkedIn and everyone's meeting me on the road and saying we are building something. Bro, where were you for the last 2 years? I didn't see you anywhere in the last 2 years. There were people in the last 2 years who were building and I have invested in them. Okay, you are new. Okay, I assume that you didn't come because BTC went to 100,000 and there's so much money.
Yeah.
Show me your product. Show me your traction. Traction doesn't mean revenue. Last cycle when gaming was going crazy, everyone was sending me a video. I would ask them, show me the login. There was no login because this was all built in Noida with some.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm looking at traction, I'm looking at numbers, and I'm happy to invest. There's no problem.
So you don't invest in early stage. You invest on at least there's on-chain transactions.
There's some product, no transaction. Okay, there's some product, some traction. That is what I require. I don't do someone who is coming with a presentation and I'm going to change.
How can they reach Sigma today?
Sigma can be reached. They can drop me a message on Twitter. They can email me on vineet@sigmavc.com. They can reach out. And as you know this very clearly, that I did 4 events a month for the last 2 years. I am probably one of the guys who everyone sees at every event. And I am available. I have
You and Animoca.
They are...
Yeah, so every place I see him.
So Yat is actually 3 steps ahead of me.
Man, it's too much. Like even though I like yachts, but I'm gonna tell him, dude, chill. Yeah.
What Yat?
Don't you miss your house? Touch the ground.
So Yat is probably a year, 2 year ahead of me because I am shifting to TradFi now, and he's been doing that for 2 years.
Yes.
He's been in Saudi for 1.5 years. I'm setting up Saudi now. So he has a clear vision, and I like that as well. He's trying, we all are in crypto bro mode, crypto bro. He's actually going to the real people. And I want to do that as well.
No. I like his approach, but again, I still see, when I see him too much, it's becoming too much, It's like you have to, I don't want to keep skipping. It's like, when you see this promo every time you're skipping to a point, you say, I'm not interested. You don't want to go to this level.
Okay, see, me as a founder of this fund has to be the face and meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
My partners who are evaluating projects have to be sitting on a desk and evaluating the projects I sent. So the work is done by a team, though I might be the face, though Yat might be going to 10,000 events, but there's a team behind him who's doing really good job in investing.
Yeah,
so
no, they have a good team.
But you don't want me as a founder of a fund.
Economics as well.
Yeah, so you don't want me to be as a founder sitting in my house and driving a Ferrari. You want me to be going everywhere and trying to build a big brand.
Let me ask you a question. Actually, your episode is very long today. It's interesting. If a project come to you and you liked everything, which market maker if you hear that he's with them, you feel like they know what they're doing and you like the market maker? Try to answer. Don't be diplomatic.
See, I am friends with each of the market makers.
Again, you see that he knows what he's doing, the project, like they are smart to get this market maker.
See, it depends.
And you feel like, okay, you like them as a portfolio. Doesn't mean you don't like the rest, but you agree on them.
It depends on the scale of the project. You have intermutes which do great job as well.
Wintermute is the biggest spot
Flow,
on many chains,
Wintermute.
many exchanges.
Yeah, but then there are some projects which are a lower market cap product. There are projects which are launching at $30-40 million. DWF has done a great job over there. There are other market makers who know how to.
So DWF is like the tier 2 mid-market cap
They have
project.
done, see again, I don't want to say tier 2 or tier 1 because they have done a good job. Again, yes, they take the token price up and then they take the token price down. People say that, but why is the token price going down? Because they're building treasury for their projects. What's the problem? Like, why do you want market maker to come in? Because this guy will help you build the product, project value. Take money out for your treasury. If you're buying a Ferrari from that treasury, then that is the problem. But if he's building you $30 million, that will last you. It's not.
I like Wintermute. I like DWF.
See, all of them are good. You just have to be clear what terms are you on with them. You have to negotiate those terms. What are they going to?
You have to be on the head of them every morning, unless they're gonna forget you.
Before that, you have to understand how market making works. People have no clue how market making works. Full stop. So once they understand that, once you negotiate with them, great job. There are few who really, really do a good job. And again, there have been, see, I'm friends with everyone.
Do you guys do tokenomics for projects, or your job is just to invest and sleep?
I connect people with tokenomics. I understand tokenomics quite well, but my job is to invest and to meet people. But I connect people with people who do tokenomics. Like I have this guy who was part of my team. He was head of research at Binance. Wrote a book on tokens. I connect people with and then their option how they are gonna work together. So I just connect. Rest I am not interact. I'm not.
So basically, you can say today Sigma Capital, their main thing is to deploy capital and connect in the right industry when it's needed.
I can get.
But you don't do anything in-house beside investment.
I'm a VC fund, right? My job is to deploy capital. If I'm going to sit and start making tokens, then I'm not doing favor to what I am supposed to do. What my job is to invest capital. A lot of these founders come from Web2 or have no clue about crypto. I connect them with the right people. Them meeting 100 people and finding out 99 is scammers, come to me. I have an open door policy. I don't charge advisory tokens. If I invest it, my XX dash is in my mouth already along with you. So I help you.
I accept advisory tokens.
No. So what I'm saying is,
I'm not big as them.
No. So when I say advisory token accepting, I'll explain advisory token. I'm putting $100 and I will connect you with everyone, whether it's an exchange, whether it's a market maker, whether it's a QL, whether it's something.
True.
If you think I'm adding value and you are giving me a 10%, 20% discount on the token, great. That's advisory for me. If you don't give, no problem. Because if my $100 is not going to become $1 million, then unfortunately you giving me 20% free tokens is not true. Because be true that I'm a investor. See, you take advisory because you full-time focus on it. I full-time focus on deployment. And 30% of time advise them.
No, you said something before that before even we go live. You said that this is what I do, and that's why I don't want to do other things. For me, I can even go and make capital if I decided, and I have big access to Saudi to raise like this. This is with a phone call I'm gonna get them because it is like a relationship. It's not like I don't even need to go and do presentation. It's based on trust. Like we're GCC, it's a bit different. Based on trust, a lot of things can happen, especially if you know them many years. But again, I don't like it.
Yeah, so for me as a VC, I always see it as a conflict of interest. When I'm taking advisory, basically, see, either the company is taking advisory or I am as a person taking advisory. As a person, it is a super conflict of interest because I am getting free tokens for the money that someone else has. When I'm taking it as a company and I am taking it at a discount, I added value, the founder sees I added value, happy to do that. But if I'm taking free, technically, I don't believe, see, as a VC, suppose I'm a VC and I'm getting $1 million of free tokens for helping, and I'm not putting my own money. What does it show? That I don't trust the project. I'm getting free tokens, which I will dump.
Of course. I agree with you.
So for me, it's about, if I like the token, why shouldn't I put my money? I am deploying, why not him also? So I always deploy. I've 130 investments. Again, interestingly, in 130 of Cipher deployments that we did, I personally put in money in all of them, most of them. So I have personal safts. This was always my rule. My first contract with Bijan was, if I'm going to deploy $100 for you, I'm going to deploy $30 for me. And I have all of these. I have close to 300, 400 personal safts as well. And some safts where even Cipher is not there. I did Star Atlas on a personal note. It did a 600. I did Manta. Cipher doesn't have Manta. So I deploy money. I believe in what I invested.
Vineet, first of all, congratulations on the news today about Sigma Capital. I really hope you're a great guy as a person. I personally like you. You're fun, down to earth. A bit crazy, but that's a part of.
Are you sure talking about me? Or is it someone
else? I'm saying you're crazy now. You're always in that young mindset. Thank you for coming to the Room of Eljaboom, and wish you the best of success. And hopefully, I will drive you later on some projects to look at. I hope it will be different and than many other VCs, and I hope to see you at some point a lead VC, because that I couldn't see it in the past, but now hopefully here Sigma can become a lead VC. Thank you for coming and wish you a best of a journey.
Thank you for your wishes, Alja. Thank you for inviting, and let's build a great ecosystem out of the Middle East. Thank you.
It's not just a room.
It's the Room of Eljaboom.
Let's go!
Chill.